My next guest is coming off a first-round submission victory this past weekend at UFC Fight Night 126. He submitted Joby Sanchez. It's Roberto Sanchez, the winner of the Sanchez, joining me here on the program. Roberto, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and I appreciate you doing this. I know you're at work right now, so the workday never ends for you, it seems, even if you get your first UFC win. But congratulations right off the bat, Roberto. Could that fight have gone any better in your opinion, just because you don't get paid by the hour?
I guess if I would have made it a little bit more impressive, it would have been nice to get the bonus. But I still had the quickest win of the night, so that made me happy.
Yeah, were you surprised you didn't get the bonus, just with the fact that you did finish it fairly quickly?
There's a lot of good fights. It was a really good card. There's a lot of battles, back and forth action in a lot of the matches. So, the guys that got the bonus deserved it. So, no, not taking anything away from them. I'm just happy to get a good win.
Yeah, and a very nice, humble answer. I like that. Were you surprised that the fight ended this early, or did you sort of envision that the fight sort of going down that way?
Well, I've had about 3 fights go about the same way. Get a quick takedown off a kick, get the back, and get the choke. So this isn't my first quick win, and this is more of how some of my matches have gone. So it was nice to kind of bring that back, and at the UFC level. So it's good.
Is there sort of a weight lifted off your shoulders, not only getting the first UFC victory, but also the fact that you were coming off the loss? I'm sure that was a little bit more pressure heading into this fight.
Yeah, even though this is my second match with the UFC, I didn't feel like I made it yet because I didn't get that win the first time around. And now it feels real. Like, okay, I'm here to stay.
And I know you don't pay attention to this stuff, but were you surprised at all when you were the underdog heading into the fight? Because again, you had a pretty impressive record, and I know Joby, was also just rejoining the UFC. So some people a little bit surprised to see you as the underdog.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't look at my overall match history. They just looked at my first UFC fight, saw I got KO'd. Joby's on a 4-fight win streak, but I did read one article that said I was the best bet, because I shouldn't be the underdog.
Nice.
If you watch my matches, I'm good at taking people down, controlling their back, getting the choke, and that's what Joby had struggled with. So they said, if you want to place a bet on Roberto. And yeah.
Did any of your friends win any money on you?
Yeah, I had a buddy that was actually in Vegas. He took a picture of the betting board with my name on it.
Nice.
And yeah, he won a little bit of cash.
That's cool. That's probably one of the first times that's happened, because I know oftentimes they probably don't have a lot of you can't bet on some of your other fights, the regional fights, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, man. How'd you celebrate after the win?
How did I celebrate? I just went out to eat with some family and friends. A little restaurant not too far, and I'm not a big partier, but
you don't strike me as one for sure, and that's not a bad thing, by the way. That's good. Sometimes it's just you're tired after the fight. Sometimes you just want to get like a nice cheat meal and just enjoy some good food with family and everything. I'm assuming that's what you did.
Yeah, and we're gonna celebrate here this weekend. I do more of a little party.
Good stuff. You expecting a lot of people out?
Yeah, probably good 30 or 40.
Nice. That's a good turnout. Did the UFC say anything to you after the win? Because again, it was very impressive, and like I said, you notched the first UFC victory there.
Nothing yet. I haven't even been looking at opponents, so I'm gonna start scouting the rest of the roster, see who's next for me.
Okay. And do you sort of manage yourself, or do you have a manager at all that sort of handles that stuff?
Yeah, I have a manager, but for the most part, I kind of scout my own opponents, and I make the recommendations to my coach, and then he'll check them out.
Okay, good stuff. Do you try and catch all the UFC cards? Because I know it's difficult. They do cards almost like every weekend now. It's pretty tough, especially a guy like yourself who has a full-time job.
Yeah, it's tough. I was trying to catch up on them, working up for this fight. Since I was running a lot on the treadmill here at work, I'd bring a tablet, put on my Fight Pass, and just watch events nonstop as I was jogging, doing my cardio. So I was able to catch up on a good 6 or 7 events. But yeah, outside of that, it's hard to keep up. But I try my best.
Does UFC give you guys a discount for Fight Pass at all, or do you have to pay in full price?
Fighters get a free Fight
Oh, good.
Pass.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure about that because I know coaches. I know some coaches have to pay for it, so that's good they included that in there. I wouldn't expect anything less. As far as training and everything, have you already been back in the gym, or are you going to just take this week off and go back in next week?
I've put my body through a lot of stress these last 2-3 months, so I figured it's good to just take a week off, give everything a chance to heal. Even though I didn't take any damage, just the stress of the training camp, just let my body kind of heal up.
Perfect scenario. When would you like to return to the cage? Have you kind of thought about that yet?
I'm gonna try to aim for late May or June.
Okay. And any cards that stand out, or is it more of just like, hey, we'll see when I'm ready to go back, and then we'll figure out the cards?
Yeah, I haven't even looked at the cards. It doesn't matter to me. Of course, anything local would be awesome, but I'll go wherever.
Well, I'm imagining you'd probably want to fight in the U.S. as opposed to overseas, or would you be open to that? Because I know sometimes it's a lot easier just to, as far as travel and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely it's easier local. But I would love to fight in another country again. I had a great time in Mexico. I would love to go to Japan or Tokyo or anywhere, um, anywhere the UFC wants to take me.
Last question for you here. I'm sure you got a lot of messages, phone calls, emails, text messages, all that stuff. Is there one sort of message, or is maybe a couple messages that kind of stood out of someone, saying, hey, congratulations on the first UFC victory of your career?
Oh,
See, I asked the tough questions.
I got a lot. I wouldn't say I got one that stood out. I was just reading a lot of jokes about the, like Sanchez on Sanchez humor going on, especially on Twitter, like Sanchez on Sanchez crime. um, but yeah,
Did any fighters reach out to you? Maybe ones that you don't know, maybe saying, hey, congratulations or anything like that?
well, just mostly fighters that I know. None out of the ordinary. I did get a lot of people from overseas and other countries, from uh, Canada, of course, Mexico, Brazil, Italy. I got people from all over congratulating me, so that was awesome.
Is that something you're getting used to now that people can watch this worldwide? It's not like you're just watching it on Access TV for LFA.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, and I'm a fan of Google Translator, so I'll respond in their own language, once they send me something, and it's kind of cool to communicate with them that way.
Excellent. Well, Roberto, enjoy the time off. It's well deserved, and again, congratulations on the victory. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, of course, at @LittleFury_MMA. And I just want to thank my coaches, sponsors, everyone that helped me get ready for this fight.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.